Edmonton with a huge divisional game between the two hottest teams in the league as the Elks host the Bombers. Winnipeg has won 5 in a row and sit atop the West. Edmonton has saved their season, having won 5 of their last 6, and will hand the ball back to Trey Ford.
Yeah, well, they're twin brothers, and growing up through every level of football, these two guys have played on the same team. Not today. Trey Ford is healthy. He gets to start at quarterback for the Elks. He is 2-0 this season. Tyrell Ford, his brother, is the starting field corner on defense for the Bombers. He leads the CFL in interceptions. For the first time in their football journey, the Ford brothers go head-to-head.
Mike O'Shea and the Bombers, as I mentioned, have won 5 in a row. The last 3 have been by 5 points or less. So they played some tight football games and have come out on top. And on the other side, Jarius Jackson has the highest scoring team in the Canadian Football League at almost 30 points per game. In fact, during this last 6-game stretch, they've averaged 35.2 points per game. Today they go against the stingiest defense in the Canadian Football League. It should be a good one here on a Saturday afternoon in Edmonton, and we are underway. This will be taken at the 21 by Lucky Whitehead, near side. Takes it back out just beyond the 30, and that is where Zach Collaros will go to work.
Completing 68% of his passes, just shy of 3,000 yards, and 6-6 on the season. Remember, the Bombers started 0-4 and have working now on a 5-game win streak. Led by Zach Collaros, and the running game, Brady Oliveira, a big part of that offense, and will be again here this afternoon.
Collaros, 12-6 in his career against Edmonton. Starts on his own 32. Down the field, near sideline, lunging out for it. Oh, who else? Kenny Lawler. Of course it's spectacular. A discussion amongst officials, and he's got a first down.
Looked like he had a little bit of double coverage almost, at least initially, and makes another spectacular catch to open this game up. Lays out, keeps his feet in bounds. Well, we've seen that a few times in Kenny Lawler's career.
Lawler was still waiting for that big one. Here's some pressure. Collaros gets it away. Far side, a little bit of room to run for Wilson. Broke one tackle. Purifoy will end up grabbing him at midfield.
Well, he missed a couple of games, but the leader on their offensive line is back. Stanley Bryant will start at left tackle. In the receiving core, one change. Remember Carrick Wheatfall back early in the season? Looked like he was off to a real good start in this Bomber receiving core. He plays for Josh Johnson here in this one. He's back and healthy.
Hasn't played since week 3. Gets back in here on a Winnipeg offense that comes into this game 9th in the league. Last, a flag on the play here on 2nd down. They averaged just 22.7 points per game. So the offense ramping up throughout the year.
Winnipeg number 69. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Kendall Randolph had come in and played tight end. They played with a big set there outside of Stanley Bryant. He's the guy who replaced Stanley Bryant. Well, he was out for 2 games. He got out there at that tight end spot, just moved early.
25-year-old out of Alabama. 2nd and 7. Stanley Bryant back in. First time since week 12. Collaros barking out some instructions last second. The late draw. Oliveira got away from one man. Now another. Breaks another tackle. Still going all the way down to the 45. You do not want to allow Brady Oliveira to start eating early.
You're right about that. He starts getting going and slapping that helmet. He's going to have a big game, and this is a good way to start. Little draw, hits that line of scrimmage. Good stiff arm there, and again on Purifoy, made 3 or 4 guys miss for the first down.
15 yards on the ground for Brady Oliveira. Over 900 on the season. Collaros this time. Out into the flat on Ontario Wilson, and he's tripped up by Kai Gray.
We'll look at the Edmonton starting defense. Jamin Pelly in the inside of that defensive line alongside Sean Oakman has worked his way. That's the second start in a row for him. Worked his way into the starting lineup. You're looking at number 1 and number 5, respectively, between Niles Morgan and Nick Anderson in the tackling department in the Canadian Football League. And Luches Purefoy's had 3 picks in the last 2 games.
Collaros, 3 options to his right, 2 to his left, goes to his left, and that one in and out of the hands of the often reliable Kenny Lawler, and that'll bring up 3rd and 5, and they'll be forced to attempt the field goal.
Yeah, throw was on the money. Collaros put it where he had to, and I think that Kai Gray may have distracted Lawler just a little bit before the ball arrived. I mean, he makes this catch in his sleep, but you see how he reaches, and that little bit of a distraction by Kai Gray made the difference.
Threw him off just enough. Otherwise, he hauls that in. Castillo out to get us started on the scoreboard. 49-yard attempt for Sergio Castillo. That is up, and it is good with lots of room to spare. Winnipeg comes away from the opening drive of the ball game with points. They lead 3-0 early on the road in Edmonton. Time before the game.
Yeah, way before the teams come out for warm-up, so it's okay. There's not like there's fans in the stands and they're wondering why Trey Ford is throwing it to
that was at 1 o'clock this afternoon.
That was real early this afternoon.
Trey Ford, 3rd start of the season, hands it off. They'll run it right up the middle. Short pickup on 1st down.
Yeah, the 3 games, 2 starts, so he's 2-0 after the 0-7 start. The Elks, beginning of this season, they have netted over 1,200 yards of offense in the 2 and a bit that he played. The 2 games he started, and then that game against BC where he was injured. Over 1,200 yards net offense, including almost 600 of those rushing the ball. It's a different dynamic that Trey Ford brings to the offense.
10 touchdowns on just 24 drives with Ford at the helm this season. Pretty good odds there. He needs 7 here to keep this one alive. Gets it away, spin move, and that'll be stopped about a yard short into the hands of Gavin Cobb. And we'll watch to see this spot and see if Prukop will come out in a short yardage situation.
I think it is a full yard short, but yeah, I see Dakota Prukop, short yardage quarterback, coming out. It's pretty commonplace now. I mean, 3rd and 1 or less, and every coach is going for it, really, no matter where they are on their field.
When you have one of the better short yardage quarterbacks in the league.
Now, I say that when Calgary didn't do that.
I wasn't going back there. I still don't know what happened last night. Prukop trying to push it ahead. Look at the Bombers defense here. They might have stuffed them. That is going to be very close. Needed the 50. Needed the 50. That foot, is that on the 50?
Where they put the, yep, it is. Right on the stripe. Oh no, that's on the logo.
It's on the logo.
So that's just short.
This may, in fact, be a turnover. They're going to measure it.
The nose of the ball is on the 50.
And if they get it, it's going to be by inches.
Back up, guys.
Prukop never really got that initial big surge, and have the Bombers taken this ball away from Edmonton early. Oh my goodness.
Man,
what's the call?
What is the call? First down.
It could not have been any closer. Wow. Have you ever seen that?
Well, forget game of inches, game of quarter inches. That's exactly what they got us by. It was like a quarter of an inch. Wow. Woo. Little sigh of relief for the short yardage quarterback there.
Wow, that was just enough. first down on their own 50. On the ground again, Brown pushing it ahead, far side of the field, and that extra effort might have another first down. They've blown it down. The ball, after the whistle, I believe, popped out.
Well, with the linebacking core, we'll get to the Bombers starting lineup in just a second, but the linebacking core and the changes in it for Winnipeg, I'm not surprised at all that Edmonton's started out at least on first down with the run game. No question he was down by contact there.
Kevin Brown averaging 5 yards per carry this season. Now a first and 10 from the Winnipeg 50. Ford wanting to throw here. On the run, out to his right. Finds Dylan Mitchell along the near sideline.
Well, 1-0 in the matchup between the twin brothers. Trey Ford on the roll. If he goes to the wide side, so he's on the hash mark, he's rolling to the wide side here. Guess who's playing corner over there? That's his brother Tyrell. And that's 1-0 for Trey in front of Tyrell. A little smile there. They've got to be careful not to go after each other and abandon the game plan.
Up to the Winnipeg 38. Brown again. This time he runs into a wall. Gauthier is there to stop him with the help from Cramdy.
That Edmonton O-line's been together for the most part all season long. David Foucault at left guard, Montreal's first-round pick back in 14, is a veteran in that group. And you take a look at one of the hottest receivers in the league. How about Tevin Jones? Labor Day versus Calgary, 5 targets, 5 catches, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not a bad day at the office.
He's made 6 starts. He has 549 yards. He's caught 20 of the 23 balls thrown in his direction. Ford's got 4 out to his left. He's going to take it himself up the middle. Can he find the space? Not going to happen. Ball pops out. Bombers trying to hop on it. Ford's going to fight for it. And it's Winnipeg ball. Bombers.
Dedrick Nichols pulled it out.
Take it away from Ford. Designed quarterback run here. Nichols strips it away and hangs on.
Dedrick Nichols did strip the ball. Trey Ford's knee was not on the ground. We saw a couple of angles in the commercial, and that is a fumble. Winnipeg football.
What a play by Nichols to get in there. His second forced fumble of the season. And Winnipeg will take over. Here's Collaros with time. He's going to run, slides, and gets about 3, maybe 4 yards on first down.
Good coverage, little pressure there from Edmonton, and Collaros just didn't like what he saw down the field. Big play on the turnover, took a potential field goal attempt. It looked like Trey Ford was going to make that first down marker, so the play by Dedrick Nichols took 3 points off the board.
Second down. Winnipeg 9th in the league in converting second downs this season at just 42.6%. They need 8 yards here after they only gave Zach a couple on the slide. Over the middle, and that one in front of Niles Morgan. It's Wheatfall back into the lineup, and he's got a first down.
Yeah, this is what we liked about him early on. I mean, he's a great route runner. This ball was thrown hard and inside because there was a linebacker coming. You could see him right there. It was Niles Morgan. So there wasn't a lot of time for Zach Collaros to fit it in there, but he threw a fastball, and Wheatfall was right there to pick it up.
Had 3 catches back in week 2. That was his 111-yard game. That's his 4th one of the year from the Winnipeg 48. He'll fake the handoff. Collaros down the field. Ontario Wilson has it. And they're into Elks territory.
Good play action fake, and defensively, this is where you get in trouble. You got to have contain on the backside. Lost containment on that bootleg from Zach Collaros. He got out there with lots of time to either run or throw.
Collaros has started the game 5 of 6 for 52 yards. A work from the Edmonton 47. This time on the ground, and Oliveira maybe 2 yards on that first down carry.
Great matchup here. Brady Oliveira, one of the top running backs in the league, has been for the last couple of years. Niles Morgan and Nick Anderson at linebacker. And take a look at this. Canadian running backs in the CFL that have led the league had 1,000-yard seasons consecutively. 3 for Andrew Harris, 3 straight for John Cornish, Norman Kwong back in the 50s. And Brady Oliveira looking to do it again this year, not far off.
I was going to say, he's going to get it. Will he get it today? Collaros gets this one away. That one low. He hauled that in. That was Ontario Wilson. And they're going to say incomplete. A little bit of a delay on that call from the officials.
Not a bad idea
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. 3rd down.
Not a bad idea by Ontario Wilson to continue to try and sell it. But you see it hit the ground.
Yeah. Easy hop on the turf. And they will bring Castillo out. He's hit 2 from 60 this year. Does have the wind at his back. This will be a 53-yarder straight away. Of course, spent some time here in Edmonton as well. Already hit from 49 in this game. Castillo for a 6-point lead. That one is up, and it is short. Hits the uprights. Castillo just misses it. And Winnipeg's lead remains 3. Ryan Rashog will have more on the Ford brothers when we return.
Big news, coffee lovers. McDonald's has new low prices for all sizes of premium roast coffees starting at just $1 plus tax, which is great if you love great tasting coffee. $1 small coffee every single day.
I'm nobody. I haven't done anything with my life like you have. I want to see the real you.
The Ferrero Rocher chocolate bar. Crunchy hazelnuts, smooth chocolate, creamy filling. Make any moment.
Trey says Tyrell would just lay on his back with his feet in the air, kicking everybody away so nobody could get anywhere near Tyrell. And then when the two of them wrestled, he did the same thing. He just laid on his back, kicking his feet in the air so nobody could get anywhere near him. Eventually, everybody got bored and left. The two stayed at it, and they're both willing to concede that it was a draw. But brothers to the end, fellas.
Worst wrestling match ever.
Apparently, and we haven't confirmed with both. When it comes to video games head-to-head, Trey has the edge there.
Trey has the ball now. Willie Jefferson coming after him. Gets away. Looks down the field and has to dump it off in front of Curly Gittins Jr.
Let's take a look at the Winnipeg defense, and congratulations again to Jake Thomas. Now 201 games. This is 201 for Thomas out of Acadia. Big changes in the linebacking core. No Adam Bighill. He's done for the season. We wish the best for Adam and a speedy recovery. So Tony Jones gets his first start at middle linebacker. He started at the weak side, but not at middle. So Tony Jones will start at the middle, and we've got Michael Ayers at the weak side linebacker. You take a look at Tyrell Ford right there. It's 1-0 Trey so far this afternoon.
2nd and 10. Ford laid it out there. Gino Lewis looked like he was interfered with working against Bonds, and it falls incomplete.
Let's take a look at
So 3rd and 10. And that is hammered away by Jake Julian. He can really boom it. Lucky Whitehead takes it just inside the 25. 57-yard kick. Whitehead tripped up on the return. Collaros has a lead with 3 left in the first. Again, they were playing that new NCAA football game, and Trey was having his way with Tyrell. And then they play NBA 2K as well. Apparently, Tyrell's a little bit better, but Trey still has the advantage there.
Yeah, and when you say the NCAA football game, we're talking 75, 80 to 15, those kind of scores. Yeah. But to me, it was a matchup of their speed. Who was the fastest guy? Which guy? Like, we saw the 100 meters versus the 200 meters. Okay, but which guy is the fastest guy? And they both told us, and we talked to them separately, so they didn't know which we asked, what questions we asked each guy. He said, on the turf, it's Trey. Or excuse me, on the track, it's Trey. On the turf, it's Tyrell. Interesting.
Cordell Jackson makes a great play for the Edmonton defense as they handed it off again to Brady Oliveira. There he is.
That's great run support from the secondary. You know, playing run defense isn't just about the linebackers. I mean, we always set up those matchups, linebackers versus the run game, but all 12 defenders are important to support the run.
Janison Sheen set to kick it away for Winnipeg. Dylan Mitchell takes it cleanly just inside his own 20. Almost tripped up, broke one tackle. And now 4 or 5 Bombers will wrap him up before he can get out beyond the 40. Coach O'Shea working his way up the list of all-time greats. There he is.
There's win 1. Look at that. That's a young-looking
babyface.
Michael O'Shea. Back when they called him Mike. Now it's Michael. Now it's Coach. After all these years and passing Bud Grant. I remind a lot of the fans that are with young coaches have that itchy trigger finger if things go a little sideways during a season. Michael O'Shea in his first year with the Bombers won 7 games. They were patient, gave him a year 2. He won 5 games in year 2. And that's where you think a lot of organizations panic. And
pull the plug, you're out of here.
Yeah, it's been 2 seasons. You haven't got to 500, you're out. And they didn't. He's been in double figures ever since, and this team has led the West 3 straight years.
9th all-time with 103 wins. 4 straight trips to the Grey Cup, winning a couple of them. 2nd and 8 here for Trey Ford in the Edmonton offense. Ford from the pocket, dumps it. And is it intercepted? Laying out and going after it. Tony Jones, the former Elk, takes it away.
Well, Tony Jones, this is a hustle play. So if you're a young player watching this now, watch Tony Jones here. He's middle linebacker. He's going to go to the line of scrimmage like he's going to protect against the run and take his gaps. He hugs the line of scrimmage. Then he sees the ball go out, so he keeps hustling, turns, and when you hustle and you get to the football, good things happen. Tony Jones playing for Biggie in the middle makes a big play for this Bomber defense off the tip.
Right through the hands of Justin Rankin, and watch, it goes off his helmet and up into the air, and Jones just lays out and gets it. He'll take it away at the Edmonton 45. Great field position for Collaros here. Oliveira to his right. Collaros on the run now, pressure coming, has to throw it away. Once again, the speedy Nick Anderson all over him.
Remember when Zach Collaros a couple series ago got outside and he hit that deep crossing route because there was no containment? This time the Elks have secondary contain at the top from Nick Anderson. So he looks like he's going to go coverage, and then they go secondary contain for him. So he takes the right angle, doesn't allow Zach to get outside close to the sideline so he can either run or throw.
Time ticks down in the opening quarter. Final play here is a 2nd and 10 for Winnipeg from the 45. 3 options out to the right for Collaros. Looks in that direction, throws down the field, and that intercepted the other way. It is taken away by Darius Brett, and the Elks defense answers right back. 14th interception of the season for Zach Collaros. Lays it up there, and Bratton slides inside and takes it away. Bombers lead 3-0. 3 turnovers in this game as well already.
Well, both teams have dynamite run games, and both teams have dynamic quarterbacks in different ways. Former MOP for Winnipeg, and of course Trey Ford and what he can do and his magic that he can create. And yet it's been the defenses in the first quarter that have stolen the show. A couple turnovers, and the defenses are winning so far.
Missed field goal from Sergio Castillo. Hit one as well. Missed from 53. Now it's be 6-0, but it's 3-0. And Darius Bratton has his 3rd interception of the year to take it away. 21 for this Edmonton defense, tops in the Canadian Football League. They'll work from their own 17. That handoff almost enough for a first down, stopped just shy. Justin Rankin in there.
Yeah, some were a little surprised that Trey Ford is starting this game, but Jarius Jackson told us that, he was injured in the BC game. McLeod Bethel Thompson took over, played very well in the back-to-back matchup against the Calgary Stampeders. In fact, in that first game, threw for almost 500 yards in that one. But Jarius Jackson said to us, hey, you don't lose your job when you're hurt, and Trey Ford was injured. That's why McLeod Bethel Thompson went in. When he's healthy and ready to go, he starts again.
3-1 in his 4 starts for MBT. On the ground again, a big hole, a first down, and they'll continue to push. Bombers eventually with the game tackle, Justin Rankin. Couple of good carries in a row for 31 in green.
Brett Boykos gets a good block down here. He's gonna collapse this down in this direction, and watch how Rankin shows great vision here. A lot of down blocking, and Rankin with that cut to the backside. He sees the backside hole, and that's the one he wants to hit. You got to have your head up and your eyes downfield to be able to do that. Don't look right at the lineman. A little bit patient at the line of scrimmage when he took the handoff, and he bounces at the daylight. Nice run.
8 runs for Edmonton, just 5 passes so far in the game. And they creep up towards midfield here. Ford hands it off again. This time, what a tackle. Retta Cramdy is there. And Rankin actually gets stopped for, I believe, a short loss.
Cramdy is free off the edge. He doesn't go into any pass drop or anything. He's going to play the run on first down. He takes 1 step inside. Good form tackle. It's a good one in the open field.
Has 5 tackles for a loss coming into the game. They say he got back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be a 2nd and 10.
One of the veterans in the linebacking corps now.
Today, for sure.
Yeah.
Ford, deep drop into the pocket, trying to escape. He will not. Tracked down by Michael Griffin.
Yeah, they're bringing Michael Griffin into the linebacking core on passing downs on 2nd down, and basically a converted DB, one of those tweener type players at 5'11", 210, and so far early it looks like they may be spying him defensively, so making sure he shadows Trey Ford.
Jake Julian averaging over 54 yards per punt this season. Raise this one way out there. Lucky Whitehead has to backpedal and take it at the 5. That was a 63-yard kick. Lucky near sideline, and he'll step out of bounds. There is a flag on the return, but the Bombers getting some pressure on Trey Ford. His first start in a rematch of the game we're watching right here. Trey Ford, Willie Jefferson from Princess Auto Stadium in Winnipeg to get us rolling on Friday Night Football. And then a big one, Bo Levi Mitchell and the Tiger Cats hanging around. They'll head out to Vancouver to take on the BC Lions. Another huge game for both of those clubs.
Well, how about these two in the back-to-back? Winnipeg wins both. They're front runners for first, big time. Edmonton wins both. They're talking playoffs.
Holding on the return, back them up to where they're starting here for Winnipeg. Lucky had taken that out around the 25. But you're right, 4 huge points in this home and home for Winnipeg and Edmonton.
The 4 you get, the 4 the other team doesn't get.
The way this season has gone in the West, you almost feel like a split's inevitable because everything's been so tight all year long. Kolaris in the pocket, jump pass, gets it to Dembski, near side, and Dembski's going to be stopped a yard short of a first down. Nick Anderson again with the line on him there.
It's a long yard. It's almost 2.
It is almost 2.
See Anderson, he drops into his drop, and then with the dump in the crossing route, he's the guy who reacts and hustles over there. Passes his teammate Niles Morgan to get Dembski out of bounds.
O'Shea thought about it.
Yeah, he walked right down and took another look. He's still looking at it.
Strevler out. Terry Wilson expected to handle the short yardage duties. And probably not in that spot. If you're to be stopped there, you're just handing points the other way to Edmonton. Jamison Shane will see if he can kick this into the wind. That'll hang up and come down right at midfield. Dylan Mitchell has him. Runs out of room, gets a little bit of an extra push. And after a 42-yard kick, excellent field position for Trey Ford as they try to find their way onto the board here at home, trailing 3-0 in the second quarter against the Bombers. Ford, 6 interceptions so far, ties him for the league lead with Roland Milligan.
Yeah, and in this matchup, you know he's excited to play against his brother. He's got to guard against trying to jump routes and get out of his game because he has had a dominant season. He's played fantastic. I mean, an all-star caliber year.
Kevin Brown into the game and running back finds a little bit of space, and they'll get an extra push from his offensive line. Look at this. Late flag out of nowhere. They've got a first down, but that flag came in during the pile-up at the 35.
And got the whole gang. That looked like a rugby scrum moving down the field. Take a look at this penalty and what they might have seen at the end of it. Forward progress looked like it had stopped there. I'm surprised there wasn't a whistle early. And then you see the O-line. Now you see what this penalty, well, it looked like that wrestling match at the side of the pile.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Edmonton number 60. So before yards are gained, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Before yards are gained.
Wow.
Well, that's strange then, because that flag came out while the pile was happening. When you're saying the flag was thrown before yards, that doesn't add up.
Before yards were gained means it's at the line of scrimmage, and I don't.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, but the flag came out at the end of the play. That's a bizarre call.
Flag came out at the scrum.
right, so they're going to say it was penalty came before they got the first down yardage, which is why they take it all the way back and then tack on the 15. So it's 1st and 25. Quick completion up to midfield. Here's Trey Ford on the battle of the brothers.
I don't think it's that bad. Again, like, it's just football, right? At the end of the day, we're just going to play. It should be fun. I'm sure my dad's excited to watch. I don't think he cares who wins, to be honest. I think he just wants to see both of us play well. So, but, you know, if I play really well, Terrell can't play really well. So hopefully that's the way it goes.
2nd and 17 for Ford. 4 options out to his wide side right. Hangs in the pocket. Down the field. Gino Lewis has it, but he'll be well short of a first down. There's Tyrell Ford on bragging rights being on the line.
You know, if he completes a pass or two, it's whatever. But, I mean, if he scores on me, I'm sure I'll hear about it. Not just the day of, but the rest of the year. But again, if I pick him off, he's probably going to hear about it the rest of the year. But, I mean, ultimately, whoever gets the win they got the bragging rights.
3rd and 4. They're going for it. Would be about a 50-yard field goal. Instead, they're going to keep the offense on the field. Pressure coming. Ford gets it away. It's deflected at the line and falls incomplete. Turnover on downs.
Willie Jefferson got to it. Another knockdown right at the line. That's 9 on the season, and it's a big one on 3rd down.
Willie Jefferson got his fingertips on it. The Bombers back, and he brings essentially the most impressive offensive lineman resume ever. For more on this, let's send it down to Ryan Rashad.
Yeah, all kinds of quiet leadership as well, Dusty. I was chatting with Mike O'Shea about that. He said one of his best traits is, you know, some players, when they get mad out there, they'll get chirpy, whether it's at their opponents or their teammates. They'll act up a little bit, maybe let it affect their play. Stanley Bryant, when he gets mad, Mike O'Shea says he translates it into exceptionally good play. Doesn't matter how mad he is, he just plays better, controls the temperature for the rest of his teammates. They see it, guys, and they follow it. But it's that quiet style of leadership where he dictates with the intensity in his play.
Well, and it's that leadership that is one of the reasons that the Bombers, maybe the main reason, are always the lowest team in the league in penalties. I mean, they just don't make those bad decisions. And as Ryan just said, focus on the next play. And the way you get an opponent back, if you think he gave you a cheap shot or something like that, is by winning the next play.
5 yards for Brady Oliveira. Now they'll put him out in the slot to the right of Collaros. Collaros throwing here. And the catch is made. A tackle right after, but Wheatfall's got his 2nd catch of the football game.
Cordell Jackson was there quickly. Carrick Wheatfall, did he make this catch? It looked like he... Oh, yeah, caught it, turned it.
Collaros on the run to his right, down the field. Drops it in there. And Ontario Wilson got underneath it. Bombers snapped that ball quickly on the last one. Jarius Jackson was still kind of trying to look at the replay, had the hand on his challenge flag, and now a discussion about this one.
Maybe early to me, but it seems to me that there's been a little more bootleg, a little more getting Zach Collaros out on the edge, throwing the football in this game than we've seen in the past few.
The ruling is an incomplete pass. 2nd down.
All right, so it has been ruled incomplete.
Well, it was right in front of the Edmonton Elks bench, and they were very vocal when they saw this because they had a great view of it. From our angle in that first replay, it looked like, well, you see it skipped off the turf. Yep.
Wilson still saying I had it. There was a little skip there, though.
Yeah, no, it went. He had both hands on each side of the ball, but you saw it hit the turf and skip into him.
Collaros, 7 of 12, 67 yards and an interception. 2nd and 10 right at midfield. lots of time. Dumps it off to Brady Oliveira. Can't escape. Kai Gray hung on for dear life to make sure he couldn't get away. And they'll have to punt it away once again.
It's like hog tying a steer when it comes to Brady Oliveira. I mean, watch Kai Gray come up and just hang on here. How many times we've seen Brady Oliveira in that rematch against Saskatchewan? Brady had 60 yards receiving in that game because he would make people miss when he made that first catch out of the backfield, the little check down.
Jamison Sheen stands on his own 45. Ready to boot it away once again. That one, end over end, hangs up high, eventually comes down. And a short return on the play from Bynum. This is one of the reasons that they've turned and saved their season. Basically, turnovers have been big.
Well, winning 5 of the last 6 after an 0-7 start, and yeah, they just started winning that turnover battle. Now they're behind tonight by -2. They're 3-1 turnovers for Winnipeg, but big reason why they're back in the fight. And a win here this evening, and they are seriously back hunting down that final playoff spot in the West.
Hand off again, right up the middle, face mask on the play. Brown would have had the first down anyway. Pretty blatant face mask, it looked like, from up here.
Yeah, I think that's what Jarius Jackson does when there's, you know, the turnover battle has been in favor of Winnipeg here. So he goes back to the
Major
run
foul,
game.
face mask, Winnipeg number 49. 15 yards added to the end of the play and a first down.
That has been throughout these 5 games in their last 6 and the ones they've won. That's been the key. The run game has been night and day different than to start the season. You'll see the face mask right there.
That's Michael Ayers getting the start. Kevin Brown's got 26 yards on 4 carries. Rankin's got 31 on 4 carries. Both guys been able to work it now in the game. NBT hands it off. They'll push it ahead once again, and a flag right at the end of this play.
Well, there's something going on here like we've seen twice now. The running back, if he's still moving forward, they can still drive and let the play continue. But as soon as it gets stacked up and you're looking at scrum against scrum, forward progress is stopped. They got to blow the whistle because they're letting it go on.
67 did not report. It's a 5-yard penalty, first down.
Wow, another real late flag against Edmonton.
Hunter Stewart did not report. Cloud Buffalo Thompson was in the game at quarterback there. He's come back out. Trey Ford slides back in. And a 5-yard penalty.
We don't want a quick whistle, so don't get me wrong, but if you let that big pile continue to fight and go back and forth, there's going to be penalties in that. I mean, there's going to be guys getting thrown to the ground, and once forward progress is stopped, you've got to stop the play.
Justin Rankin back in the game at running back next to Trey Ford. Ford bobbles it, picks it back up on the run to his right. He gets hammered as he throws it, and he bounces right back up. 2nd and 15.
And just ball security, a little bit of an issue. I'm sure Jarius Jackson will talk about this at halftime. It looked like on the fake to Rankin, it actually hit his knee, his own knee. The ball popped out of his hands. And let's see Tyrell Ford's coverage on the intended target. Trey Ford trying to get it out there to Dylan Mitchell, and Ford right there, just waiting for him. Come on, get it out here.
They'll have 4 receivers to the right of Ford. 3-man pressure from Winnipeg. Ford can't see anything he likes just yet. Now down the field, incomplete. Laid it up there for Gavin Cobb. There's a flag back by the quarterback.
I think so.
And it is roughing the passer against the Bombers.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Winnipeg number 95. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Jake Thomas, the guilty party.
Ball's out there.
Oof. Looked like much. Touched his head though, and that's why they blow it down. Now Rankin on the far side. One tackle, pushes ahead, and what a burst from Justin Rankin. He is fired up.
It's that time of year too. It's getting colder, a little frost out there in the morning, especially in Alberta. But this is the time of year where your run game, if it starts to hit its stride, can really help you in the playoff run.
They have been most effective so far today on the ground. Rankin in behind Ford again. And they'll give it to him. Up the middle. 4 yards on that first down carry. Second and manageable. And you would think they'd be within field goal range already.
A lot of that zone read type look of plays here offensively for Trey Ford. So where he takes the ball on the shotgun snap, turns sideways, and then holds it out there for either Kevin Brown or Justin Rankin, who's ever in at the time. And he can pull that. Now, he hasn't pulled it yet a bunch in this first half. I want to establish the interior run game first.
Yeah, he does not have any yards on the ground just yet.
Edmonton called the timeout. They clearly didn't have the right formation matched up to the play that was called. Jarius Jackson, I think, called that timeout right beside the official, right in front of their bench.
So once again, we talked a lot about Edmonton and their ability to run the ball as of late. And they've carried it 10 times so far in this game between their two running backs for a combined 72 yards. They're averaging over 7 yards per carry here in the first half. Hasn't led to any points. They're still being shut out by the Bombers. But they've got the running game going so far. This is without Javon Lee.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Another guy who's had a phenomenal year, actually leads the team in rushing. But when any of these guys have been given an opportunity, they've done very well. All three of them have 100-yard games. And Rankin in there now next to his quarterback. 2nd and 6 from the Winnipeg 41. Ford gets it out. Tevin Jones has it. And he is going to be marked just shy of the first down as we are inside 3 minutes here at Commonwealth. Elks trail 3-0.
Coming up at the half, the mega panel is officially back. Let me guess, you guys are talking about defense?
Defense, run game, offense. The forwards.
Does anyone want to read highlights?
Is that extra money?
No. Absolutely not.
We're not doing it for free. We're not doing it for free. It's all your job.
Those guys are getting paid? What? This is third, and we're talking inches.
Yeah, you go for it here.
Not halftime. Not the end of the game.
It's not guaranteed, but you go for it here.
Prukop had a close call earlier, pushing it ahead, and that'll be enough. First down, Edmonton, and they'll stay on the field here with just over 2 minutes remaining in the half.
Yeah, run the regular offense, no question there. And I think we're just literally moments away from on that sort of run formation that we're seeing from Edmonton. That Trey Ford pulls it.
I was just saying, at some point he's going to pull it.
Yeah,
right?
get to the outside, and then as long as he breaks contain and gets out there, he puts the DBs in a bind.
3 points on a field goal from Castillo, all we've seen so far in this one today. 9 play of this drive for Edmonton. They'll give it to Brown. Can he find some space? Hesitates, pushes it back up to the line of scrimmage. Ball pops out. The Bombers are on it again. 4th turnover of the game for Edmonton. And the Winnipeg defense does it again.
Who pulls it out this time? It was Diedrich Nichols that started this turnover fest for Edmonton, and they're in scoring position. That looked like it was a hit.
That was Jones, punched it out. Right there.
Yeah, I think that was just tackling the football by Celestin Haba. Haba stepped up and tackled the ball there.
1 turnover on downs, 2 fumbles and an interception. Here's Dembski. Dembski pushing it ahead. And Dembski finds a first down for Winnipeg to start this drive.
One of the things that the Bombers, the reason they become dangerous on offense is all their pre-snap motion and their motion that comes from side to side. They're not always just waggling towards the line of scrimmage like every team does. They're using the width of the field. They get a lot of those fly sweeps out there to Nick Dembski like we just saw, but they'll come right back with an interior run to Brady Oliveira.
1st and 10 for Collaros from his own 48. Brady Oliveira gets it this time. Short pickup on first down. Morgan and Anderson in on the tackle.
See, if you go back far enough, you'll see the pre-snap action. See receivers going over here, another receiver going over here. It looks like the play might be going in that direction, but nope, it comes back the opposite direction. The whole purpose of all of that pre-snap stuff is just to take the attention of 1 or 2 of the defenders away. Say, well, should I widen to Dembski a little bit? Oh, they're going the opposite direction. And it's one of the reasons they're so dangerous offensively.
2nd and 7. Empty backfield for Collaros this time. Over the middle, and that is Purifoy. Cut in there as Lawler tried to lay out for it.
I'm not sure Purifoy got his hands on it, but he did break on that and again distract Lawler going down for that one.
So it'll be 3rd and 7.
But after the turnover, the defense for Edmonton responds.
That's straight up defensive battle between these 2 teams.
Absolutely.
So far this evening. Jamison Sheen hammers it away. Mitchell slides over, takes it, and steps out.
The Ultra Hole Challenge is back, featuring Wayne Gretzky and Michael Block. Tune in on TSN Plus, live after the President's Cup.
58 seconds to work for Trey Ford.
See that Gretzky, Connor McDavid, Draisaitl, somewhere in the building. They're here walking around.
They were down on the field earlier.
Down on the field and warm up. We heard from Ryan that Connor McDavid wanted to just get real close and see how big and fast these guys really are.
Suits isn't joking. That's why he wanted to get down there to get a look. Hand off again, right up the middle to the 20. Here's a look at the pregame visit.
Yeah, talking to Ryan down on the sideline, and you guys know those two. We have a beer league tournament up in Whistler. You think we could get them to? You think?
Probably not. I'm just gonna throw it out there, but
okay.
I don't like your chances. 2nd and 7. Ford over the middle, down outside. inside the 35, and he's got Gavin Cobb. That's the biggest pickup of the day through the air for Edmonton.
Yeah, confidence building throw before the half for Trey Ford. He actually takes a low shotgun snap around his waist, keeps his eyes downfield, and throws a strike. That's one you can build on.
Ford on the run, gets away, finds some space. Now he's going to look down the field, makes another move, still going. Trey Ford tripped up, did he get a first down? They'll mark him just short with 18 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, that's his problem here now for the first half. He's got to try and get that one more play done and get a chunk play here to get in field goal range. A little bit of the magic.
Clock ticks for Edmonton. Ford down the field into double coverage. Gino Lewis can't get there. Incomplete is what they rule it with 7 seconds on the clock.
Trying to double move down there, but the Bombers defensively weren't buying it. Bonds was deep. He gets his hand on it and trailing. That was Michael Griffin, who's seen a lot of playing time in this first half.
All on 3rd and 1 with just 7 seconds left. They will kick it away. Julian into the game to punt it to Lucky Whitehead. I did not see 3-0.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Halftime here.
I'm not sure that punting it is the best option here. You might be able to kill that time with Trey just running around. Kill it. Now you're giving the Bombers a chance for a return.
Towering kick. Whitehead brings it out of the end zone. 16. In the end, it doesn't matter. And Winnipeg with a 3-0 lead over Edmonton. 2 huge points on the line, and neither defense really giving up anything.
Well, I'm going to just say it before we get to the panel, because defense is allowed to win. Got a lot of offensive guys. So defenses are allowed to win, and they won in that first half. Both sides.
Tony Jones, former Edmonton Elk, with this interception right here. That's his first of the season. One of 4 turnovers that the Bombers were able to come up with. 1 turnover on downs, couple of fumbles, and that interception from Tony Jones. And a Winnipeg defense that's been the best in the league so far this season. 17 turnovers total on the season coming into the game. 4 in the first half. They'll try to reel that in. The Bombers will try to get their offense going as well. The only 3 points on a field goal on the first possession of the ball game. We are underway, 3rd quarter. Lucky Whitehead gets us started at the 15. And he pushes it back out just beyond the 30. Zach Collaros, 9 of 15, 84 yards, and an INT in the first half.
Yeah, first half thought that Zach Collaros was outside of the pocket more than normal. 9 of 15, just 84 yards, and the interception. Anticipating some Edmonton blitz packages and wanting to get the quarterback outside of that.
They'll start it on their own 31. Collaros wide open, and that'll be a first down into the hands of Kevin Sklercius for the first time in this ballgame.
It truly is a game about adjustments and what offense comes out. A little crossing route here to get things started. Elks drop back into a zone, and Sklercius on the crossing route.
True test of adjustments here in the second half, isn't it?
For both teams.
Yeah. the 50. Bratton and Anderson on the tackle.
Both teams coming off the bye weeks. Both teams have lots of rest, fresh legs. Buck Pierce, let's see what his adjustments are. Went away in these first 2 plays from Brady Oliveira. I'm sure we'll see more of him as it goes on. But will they use him in the passing game in this second half or go back to the run to Brady?
7 carries for 35 yards. Had 1 catch for 3, did Brady Oliveira in the opening half. He'll stand in to the left of his quarterback here. And they will give it to him, looking for the first down. He's got it. Takes it up past midfield. And Winnipeg moving the ball here early in the third quarter.
On that type of play, they'll usually bring in Nick Dembski to block the edge. He'll sometimes have to do it against the defensive lineman, and then Brady Oliveira runs away from that block side.
This is be the point of the game where I mention once again how I'm stunned. Brady Oliveira doesn't have a touchdown yet this season. Makes no sense to me.
It is about this time every day.
Usually, it's third quarter. I have to get to it. It's ridiculous. It blows my mind every time I see it. Here's Brady Oliveira. This is a big burst. He'll take it down, rumbling his way towards the 30-yard line. There he is.
Straight down Main Street for Brady Oliveira here. Good blocking. Patrick Neufeld blocks out. Hits the hole. No hesitation there. Usually he'll press the line of scrimmage.
He almost took Collaros with him on that last one. They'll give it to him again. It'll be a short pickup on first down this time.
You know, the theory, though, is with Brady Oliveira not scoring a touchdown, rushing or receiving, the rushing end of it, when they get inside the 5, it was Chris Streveler time.
It was.
And Streveler was getting a lot of those touchdowns. Now, as you mentioned earlier, Terry Wilson will take over short yardage with Streveler on the IR.
Streveler, unfortunately, out for this season.
But wouldn't be surprised at all if they get inside the 5 that they leave Brady Oliveira and give him the ball down there.
He's pretty good at it, too. Here's Collaros. Pressured in the pocket, escapes, looking for a first down. A weird slide on his knees. And they're going to mark him right at that first down marker. Should be enough.
It is a bit of a transition, and quarterbacks and defenders and all players on both sides are trying to figure out exactly how to protect the quarterback and still play physical football, and it's going to continue to sort of evolve, and I think it's at times confusing players, and that's why this slide looks like this. Zach Collaros is not sure, should I slide feet first or should I dive, or just, and the defenders did a good job of missing him.
He does get the first down. We saw Winnipeg start the ball game with a pretty good drive that ended in a field goal for Sergio Castillo. Find themselves in the red zone on this drive. First time today. Collaros over the middle. Ontario Wilson, end zone, touchdown Winnipeg. Ontario Wilson has his 3rd major of the season as the Bombers find 6.
Motion before the snap. Showed it to you in the first half. There goes Dembski. There goes Lawler, and then they reverse and go the opposite direction. Wilson comes up with the catch from the backside of the formation, and the Bombers' opening second half drive ends up in the end zone.
Castillo for a 10-point lead on the road. Makes no mistake. What a way to start the second half. 6 plays, 79 yards in just under 5 minutes. Collaros to Wilson to the end zone.
Bomber pre-snap motion can influence the defensive backs too. Watch Cordell Jackson move up and not in to help coverage on these crossing routes. He sees Dembski, he sees Lawler coming one direction, and he steps up, and now Wilson is and 2 receivers are inside. He can't get that leverage back. He's chasing, comes up and is late on the tackle, can't make it. Touchdown Winnipeg.
Bombers 2-4 on the road this season. Lead by 10, ton of game left. Here's Mitchell, runs out of room on the return, just secures the ball and is taken down at around the 27. Here's Trey Ford's first half.
Well, they just were recovering from all those turnovers. They had some issue with ball security early, and then Trey Ford had a couple of drives, and late in the half, we saw him start to move around, throw off schedule, get outside, do what he does. A lot of that magic show where he starts running around. But I think it was Milt at halftime said, love to see him get involved in the run game too with those RPO type of running plays.
Have not seen that yet. He's handed it off a ton.
There you go.
This time they'll open it up. That'll work. And they find Dylan Mitchell, and Mitchell takes it out. Big pickup. Almost to the 50.
So there's the first pull. So we saw all first half, he was given to the back here. This time it's Rankin. This time he pulls it, gets outside a little bit, and throws that hot route. He can throw or run here. Run, play option. So to start the second half, that's one of the adjustments.
21 yards to Mitchell, longest passing play of the ball game for the home side. Again, gets it to Tevin Jones, turns it upfield, a little bit of a hurdle, and he's tripped up, be marked close to a first down, and they'll give it to him.
Eventually, the Bombers are going to have to widen or maybe bring a couple of spies up to the line of scrimmage, a couple of linebackers to the line to widen them to try and contain Ford. Now he's pulled it twice in a row in these RPO plays. So maybe it's Tony Jones. He's got to widen up, come closer to the line, and contain Trey from getting outside.
Edmonton will work from the Bomber 51. This time back on the ground. Rankin gets a couple of yards before he's tackled. Right at Cramdy, Jake Thomas in there.
Yeah, it's a good reaction by Jake Thomas. Close up what looked like a pretty good gap up the middle. He just bowled his way down. 12 years in the Canadian Football League, all with the same team.
That's impressive in any league.
Yeah, well, it's impressive in any business today.
That's true. 2nd and 8 for Ford. Near side, drops it in there. And that'll be close to a first down with the forward progress as he goes back to Tevin Jones.
We talked about him in the first half and how hot he's been. 300-yard games in his 6 starts. Giving him the first down with forward progress. Covering on that play was Evan Holm, who has worked real closely with Tyrell Ford. Ford was telling us just how much he has helped and how quick Holm is. It's going to be tough picking the All-Star team this year, I'll tell you that, from the secondary. There's some standing DBs playing. Roland Milligan in Saskatchewan, Evan Holm, and Tyrell Ford here.
Rankin trying to bounce this one up the middle. And a pretty good pickup on first down. That may have just led to another.
Very deliberate when he runs, isn't he? It's almost like, you know, he's got great vision, clearly, because he's hit the backside on a couple of runs here 3 or 4 times already in this game alone. You've got to be sound defensively on the backside of play. So if it looks like it's going to the right, don't give up your assignments on the backside.
61 yards on just 9 carries for Rankin. 2nd and inches here. They'll work from the shotgun. Rankin again. Flea flicker. Ford towards the end zone. Gino Lewis comes back to get it. Makes a man miss. Touchdown, Edmonton. Flea flicker finds Gino, and he does the rest.
It was underthrown, and it looked like Brandon Alexander was going to get there. He was coming from the safety spot, and it looked like he was undercutting it and ready to take that interception. But because Gino Lewis came back to the football, fought to it, got to it, and then found it in the end zone, took it to the house.
Hey, come on. Hey, let's go, Gino! Let's go.
Beatty makes it a 3-point game. What a response from Edmonton. After the Bombers go 6 plays for 79 yards for a touchdown. Ford and Edmonton 6 plays, 83 yards for a major of their own.
Well, he thought he'd come up and try to help on the run too. Number 30 steps up right here. He is looking in the backfield, gets caught. Gino Lewis gets him behind him. Now his safety, Brandon Alexander, almost bails him out, but because Lewis comes back to the ball, he wins that battle when the ball arrives.
6th touchdown of the season for Gino Lewis. Lucky Whitehead on the return.
Wants to make a play. Come up. I'll get the run. Trouble.
Little slip, and that's the end of it. All right, we believe we've got an ejection in this ball game. Let's go down to the field.
After the play, with two unnecessary roughness penalties, one against Winnipeg number 49, 15-yard penalty, and a rough play disqualification against 32 Edmonton. 32 is ejected, up 10 yards, first down Winnipeg.
Leon O'Neill Jr. ejected from the game. Michael Ayers with the flag on the other side of the ball.
Well, we'll show you exactly where it happens from a little bit off here. There is the 2 players going at it, and you'll see a couple punches thrown.
A slap with the right hand and then a pretty good pop with the left.
Yeah, Leon O'Neill took it another step with the punches, and that's why he was thrown out. But 2 rough play penalties.
Winnipeg will start this drive after that penalty on their own 43. Leading by 3. Polaris dumps it out. Lucky Whitehead will pick it up. Heavy collision. Morgan. Whitehead gets up, shrugging the shoulders.
Shrugs that off a little bit, doesn't he?
Gonna have to hit me a little bit harder.
Never wrong to get a great punt returner out there in space offensively. That's Purefoy making first contact. Miles Morgan joining in.
Ooh. It's a contact game, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
2nd and 4. Brady Oliveira following an escort picks up. Was that Dembski? Oh, yeah, there's Oliveira. That was Dembski they worked back in. Followed his line and gets the first down.
Yeah, Brady Oliveira had escaped out of the backfield there, and he was going to try and take a linebacker with him, and then they hit Dembski up the middle on the run play. All that motion that we've talked about here tonight, it forces defenses to play more zone looks. They need to get out of man because they're chasing people.
Fresh set of downs, pretty much right at midfield here for Kolaris. They'll get it to Whitehead again, and he's got a couple of yards. Tripped on the play by Moncrief, and it'll be 2nd and about 8 for the Winnipeg offense.
Big part of the turnaround we showed you for the Elks has been the turnovers, yes, but also the play of their defense. I just think they may have, in combination with Derek Moncrief and Morgan and Anderson, one of the best linebacking cores in the league. And their secondary has come together. Cordell Jackson's put a real good back half of the season together, and Ty Gary and Bratton played well all year.
Some pressure on Kolaris, gets it away. Wilson again steps up on Clercius. He's had a few of those tonight.
Well, on cue. And again, you know, this is his 9th straight start for the Elks. He has 3 interceptions, but he leads their team in PBUs, or pass breakups. That's what I call them when they're DBs. Knockdowns are D linemen. PBU, pass breakup.
He's been great.
What a great tackle.
Excellent find.
In the open field, yeah.
55-yard attempt for Castillo. He made from 49, hit the upright from 53. They'll roll him out there from 55. For a 6-point lead. That one is up and
again.
A double doink.
Again.
Bryce Castillo has hit the upright. You've got to be kidding me.
Same upright.
Almost the same spot, just a little bit higher up. Castillo twice tonight off the upright. Wow.
Here. Now, with all that said, I talked to Trey Ford and told him about it, and he said it actually wasn't that bad. So I guess Jerry's, as much as he thinks he bit into him today, guys, even when he's at his meanest, still not too bad for the guys. But the head coach definitely dealing with some frustration here today that they're managing with all these turnovers.
Well, they're on a roll in the win-loss column over the last 6 weeks.
I'll hand it off. Rankin again gets a couple of blocks, stays on his feet. Look at this! Justin Rankin down the right side gets another block, takes it to the 35. Bit of an escort here, but finally steps out of bounds. That'll put him over 100 yards in the game.
Well, they're on a roll, and when you're on a roll and you see a little complacency in practice, especially when you have the bye and you have 12 days off, you want to make sure you stay on the guys. That's what Jarius Jackson does, and I know one guy that heard the message. That's Rankin. The way he's been running tonight.
53-yard burst up the field.
Great vision. Now, Willie Jefferson here is influenced by the potential of Trey Ford keeping it. You see how he steps up and makes sure Trey Ford can't get outside. He doesn't have the ball anymore. But that's what Trey Ford does to defensive ends.
1st and 10 from the Winnipeg 27. Rankin again, bouncing around. Kind of got something out of nothing that time. Decent pickup on 1st down there.
Notice there are a few coaches in the league that are making sure there's no complacency slipping in to the work week. Saskatchewan got a big win last night in Calgary. Corey Mace did the same thing this week leading up to that one. And, you know, these aren't designed, planned times for coaches to start yelling at their players. That's not what it is. It's, you notice the practice level is not what it should be, and you make sure the guys understand.
Ford on 2nd down wants to throw. Now he's going to try to take off himself, running out of room, and he'll be thrown back once again by Jones. And that'll bring up 3rd down and a field goal attempt from Beatty to tie this game at 10.
You heard the guys in the studio and the panel talk about the 3-man pressure, and look how wide they are to make sure that Trey Ford can't escape outside. 3 guys that wide with linebackers just sort of hanging around in case he starts to run. Tony Jones being one of them, and he got there.
This will be a 35-yard attempt. Beatty, 74.1% on the season to tie the game at 10. And he knocks that one home. And we're deadlocked at the end of the 3rd quarter. 2 huge points up for grabs. Bombers, Elks hanging tight as we get set for an excellent 4th quarter to wrap up the week in the Canadian Football League. Don't go anywhere. We've got a thrilling 15 minutes coming up. This game has been very evenly played so far.
Well, it has. You saw the adjustments made by Edmonton to go with the RPO plays, but have Trey Ford pull the ball, and you see what it's doing to the defense. But in games like this, the Bombers know how to win these games. the Elks are trying to figure out how to win these games. So it's going to be a very interesting fourth quarter to see how far they've come in Edmonton here. See if they can figure out how to beat a very good team when it comes to the fourth quarter.
A couple of uprights from Castile looming large. 6 points left off the board. Bombers will start on their 40 here to get the fourth quarter underway. A deep shot immediately, too much on it, looking for Lawler. And we haven't seen Collaros go down the field very much tonight, and a little bit too much juice on that one.
Well, he had him too. It looked like Lawler, who got a good run on the waggle here. Straight go route, nothing fancy about it, just a little hitch in his step, and away he goes. You see he has a step and a half and is in behind coverage, but Collaros just missed him.
So it'll be a 2nd and 10. Lawler targeted 5 times in this game, but has just 1 catch for 15 yards. Collaros got to have 10 this time. Thought about going down the field. Now he's going to take off again, and he's got a first down and a little bit more. He'll take it down inside the 50 before another slide. And you don't see Zach take off for that far of a run very often.
You'll be able to see how it opens up with a bit of a stunt going here. You see that stunt up front, so now you're kind of out of your lane. You see 3 defenders there that are all bunched up because the offensive line created a pile there, and that opens a running lane for Zach Collaros right down the middle.
21 yards for Collaros. He's got 30 on 3 carries from the Edmonton 49. Far side of the field. Kai Gray will wrap up Clorsius, who hauls in his 3rd catch of the ball game.
And a chance to play for Drew Wolotarski. Not in the lineup tonight. 2nd round draft pick out of Connecticut.
He'll head off to the sidelines along with Ontario Wilson. Lucky Whitehead slides in on a 2nd and a couple. Collaros pressured and taken down. Read well. Moncrief gets there. His 1st sack of the season.
Moncrief comes from off the ball, and he times it up perfectly. He's coming from off the ball about 5 or 6 yards, but times it up, and Brady Oliveira's not sure who to block. You see Lucky Whitehead got in the way. He wasn't sure, couldn't see him, and Collaros went, oh, the timing of that destroyed because Moncrief timed that blitz perfectly.
Well, takes them out of field goal range here as well. So instead it'll be a punt. Jamison Sheen hangs it up there. Taken on the far side of the field by Purifoy, a 37-yard kick. And Purifoy hops around for a bit, but couldn't find anything open up. A beautiful night here in Edmonton. Already has the best game in his career here tonight. 2nd 100-yard game of the season for Rankin. Ford will give it to him again. Cuts it back up, finds a little bit of space. He's got another first down, and now the race is on the far side of the field. Wow! Rankin, have yourself a night.
Pretty good day at the office already for 31. I mean, I'm amazed by his vision. He just, this time it's to play side, but he's patient with this run. Big pile created. He bounced back from that pile, and then the secondary once again having to make the tackle. Brandon Alexander from the safety spot trying to drag him down. What a night.
154 yards on 12 carries. Stands in to the left of his quarterback here. Ford will be throwing over the middle. Intercepted! takeaway. Bombers defense steals it away again. Ford trying to dump it over the middle. Taken away by Ayers.
And on a crossing route. That on the crossing route is Jacob Zott, and it wasn't a bad read by Ford. He just didn't see Ayers drop underneath it. He was trying to execute the trick play with basically a tight end going across the formation, thinking that they wouldn't cover him.
Brady Oliveira. Here's a big burst. Brady Oliveira down to the 10, tripped up, still going. And he answers right back for Winnipeg. Thought that might have been the first touchdown. So did he see his face? He's like, ah!
Can't believe he didn't get in. Off the left side, there's where Stanley Bryant lines up. Getting things going on that left side of the formation for Oliveira. I would agree with the assessment on Stanley Bryant. Maybe one of the best offensive linemen to ever strap on the pads.
Oliveira, a single yard away from a third consecutive 1,000-yard season on the ground. They give it to him towards the end zone, and he's in. 1,000 yards in his first touchdown of the season. And the Bombers go back on top, courtesy Brady.
Let's go, Brady! Let's go! Yes, sir!
Well, I'm not sure what the celebration was, but Oliveira gets to the end zone first time this season. Back-to-back runs. The first one gets him down in scoring position. Needs one for 1,000 yards. He's now got 3 consecutive. Nice cut there. And for the first time tonight, really, the Edmonton defense on sudden change can't hold off the Bombers' offense.
Castile smooths one through. Winnipeg's lead is 7 again. The Bombers have the lead. McLeod Bethel-Thompson has been warming up and will be into the game for Edmonton when we return. The 111 yards tonight puts him up over 1,000 on the season for the 3rd straight year.
Tailback position, and Canadians leading the way with 1,000-yard seasons. 17, 18, 19. 20 was a canceled season. 21 was a shortened season. And then Oliveira took over after that.
Chicken box.
Appreciate you.
Chicken box strip. Chicken box strip.
Appreciate y'all, boys. We got that chicken box.
Much deserved touchdown for Brady Oliveira. Is there a response from Edmonton? Mitchell on the return takes it out just beyond the 35. They'll mark him out at the 36. And McLeod Bethel-Thompson into the game, down by 7 with 9:29 left.
Well, and McLeod Bethel-Thompson has played his best football as an Elk in the last 2 weeks, their last 2 games. Both games against Calgary. That first one on Labor Day, almost 500 yards passing, as I mentioned earlier. Trey Ford, and these turnovers just caught up to him.
Last 4 games, NBT's 3-1 with 9 touchdowns and an interception. They'll start it on the ground, and a short pickup on first down.
Now the strategy changes defensively big time for the Bombers here. And we saw that 3-man pressure with real wide defensive ends to try and contain Trey Ford in the run game, just going crazy for Edmonton with Rankin up the middle. Now Jordan Younger can go back to a 4-man front, kind of play conventional linebacker play behind it, knowing that number 10's not going to press the edge. And all they have to do on the run game is concentrate on Rankin.
2nd and 8, passing down situation for McLeod Bethel-Thompson. Down the middle, heaves it up, almost intercepted. He was pressured as he threw that, was looking for Gittins Jr., and that'll be a quick 2 and out. And Jake Julian will have to punt it away.
Yeah, they're going to have to go and talk about this one on the sideline, because I'm not sure. McLeod Bethel-Thompson just kind of throws it down the middle, and I don't think Gittins Jr. ever even looked for the ball.
Yeah, he didn't even look back, did he? Not once. Julian gets it away. Well, this is way up there. That hangs up there a ton. Finally comes down at the 15, and Lucky Whitehead has nowhere to go. A 58-yard kick from Julian. Defending champion Chiefs remain undefeated this season. A couple of close ones. They'll head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons tomorrow for Sunday Night Football. Gets rolling at 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 Pacific on TSN. Well, how many times over the last 4 years have we seen Winnipeg get the ball, 8 minutes on the clock, Brady Oliveira time, and they seal it away? This is the same story that we've seen over and over and over again for quite some time.
Well, Niles Morgan and Nick Anderson have seen it too. So let's see what they do in response.
The drive will start on the Winnipeg 20. They give it to Brady Oliveira, and he gets a couple.
Run down in the middle there nicely by Noah Curtis. But Anderson and Morgan were lined up as if they were honing in on the run. First down, Brady Oliveira time. Seen it many, many times. Watching game film against this team. Noah Curtis is going to make the tackle, but his linebackers were in position.
And Anderson, I believe, wrapped up his feet first. They still got about 2.5, almost 3. Kolaris will work from the 22. 4 options out to his left. Looks in that direction. Now throws over the middle. And they got a first down. Lawler got popped at the end of it. Boy, did he ever. And there's a flag on the play. Was that Nick Anderson who got him?
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Edmonton number 48. 15 yards added to the end of the play and a first down.
Well, it's a defenseless player, you know, after the catch. I think he was wrapped up as well. Lawler, first of all, does a great job of coming back and taking that extra step. But this type of play for a receiver in the open field has been sort of out of the game for a long time.
Hit him on the shoulder.
Well, he led with his shoulder, but because Lawler was going down, it made contact to the head.
7 minutes left.
But he was also being tackled defenseless there.
1st and 10 from the Winnipeg 49. Brady Oliveira right up the middle. And once again, probably 3 yards on first down, and that'll set up 2nd and about 7.
And by the way, just that pre-snap motion I've been mentioning for the Bombers offensively, well, you have to be in shape to do that. Think of all the running that they're doing before the ball is even snapped, and they're going downfield after that. The receiving core and Nick Dembski, he does it probably better than anybody to influence the defense. But you have to be in great shape to run 20 yards before you snap the ball, 30, then come back, catch it, and see what you can do after the fact.
The injury spotter is taking a look at Lawler.
Yeah, they're going to bring him out.
He doesn't like it. Players very rarely do.
No, but it's the right thing to do.
89 Winnipeg has been taken out by the injury spotter.
And this was from 2 plays ago, not on this last play. Stayed in for 1. The injury spotter would have gotten a look at the last sequence, and now they'll take him out.
And he might have still been watching him in the huddle, and if he was laboring in any way or looking like he was trying to, come. And, the players don't like it, but here's the thing, and here's the truth of it. If you ask a player on the sideline if he's okay, he's going to say yes and lie.
Leave me in there.
He is straight going to lie. So this is for their own good. Saying, okay, I'm fine, but
march on from the Winnipeg sideline on a 2nd and 7. Crowded Commonwealth trying to get behind this defense. Dembski will slide in next to Kolaris, who wants to throw down the field, has a man just outside the 30 as he gets it into the hands once again of Wheatfall in his return to the lineup. Has a big one late in the 4th quarter.
You know, one of the keys playing against Winnipeg is the deepest receivers are often the primary target because they're getting the deepest run in the waggle towards the line of scrimmage. Saw Lawler do it a couple plays ago. This time it's Wheatfield right down on that dig route. Wheatfall coming into the middle. Good protection for Zach Kolaris. He's got time to step into that throw and hits him right between the 8s.
Winnipeg looking to seal this away. Kolaris near side to Dembski. Dembski turns. And he is tackled almost immediately by Jackson and Moncrief. Pretty good pickup on 1st down. Got about 5 yards, so it'll be a big 2nd and 5 now. Even the field goal would put them up by 10, which made things pretty bleak for the Elks.
Yeah, 2 possessions. Buck Pierce calling the plays. Interesting to see what he goes with here. High percentage, low risk. You've got the field goal in field goal position.
Kolaris hangs in the pocket, tries to escape a little jump pass over to Oliveira. Stays on his feet, looking for the 1st down. Got it. By both the quarterback and the running back, and Winnipeg keeps this drive alive.
Oliveira gives the signal to his quarterback that he's going to get out of the pocket and go in the open field. And how many times have we seen it? If you want to know why the Bombers have been 1st place year in and year out, been to the last 4 Grey Cups, because deep in the 4th quarter they have players that make those individual extra efforts to get the 1st down. Don't make the key mistake. Who's set?
Oliveira again, and he'll take it down to the 15 as time continues to tick away for Edmonton here.
Get to the 3-minute warning here. That was a big play to Brady Oliveira. One-on-one with Cordell Jackson, who's tackled well tonight.
Bombers working towards their 6th consecutive victory and some breathing room at the top of the West. Edmonton trying to bring some heat. Kolaris on the run. Just has to throw it away. And that'll bring up 3rd down as we hit the 3-minute warning in the 4th quarter at Commonwealth in a battle between Winnipeg and Edmonton.
Be there. Watch Brady Oliveira signal to his quarterback on the key 2nd and 5 play about 2.5 minutes ago to get the 1st down. Now they're going to end up lining up for a field goal. Great straight arm in the open field. If Cordell Jackson makes that tackle, they're kicking the field goal, but they save 2 minutes on the clock. That 1st down allowed Winnipeg to burn 2 more minutes. They're still lining up field goal, but they've given Edmonton way less time. They're taking it to 2 possessions if he makes it.
Castillo for a 10-point lead. And that was a little bit closer than I was expecting, but he got it.
Almost an overcorrection. It was the upright as Castillo is looking at it that he hit twice. Wow. Got it in there.
Let's look ahead to next week. More huge games in the Canadian Football League. A rematch of this one coming up from Winnipeg. Ticats and Lions in the 2nd half of that Friday night football doubleheader. CFL on CTV. Red Blacks in Regina to take on the Riders, and then the Alouettes and the Argos as well for Toronto. Montreal has clinched a home playoff date earlier today with that win. Excellent Week 17 schedule. Brady Oliveira, 15 carries, 115 yards, and his first touchdown of the season. Collaros has spread the ball around. 4 different receivers have at least 3 catches in this ball game, and Kenny Lawler is not one of them. So he's worked the ball around to Wilson and Wheatfall, who returned, Dembski, Clercius. And Winnipeg finds themselves in a pretty good spot.
What a key play that was on 2nd and 5.
Castillo hangs this one up there. Dylan Mitchell will take it at the 21. Mitchell picks his way over to the sideline. And Edmonton will get the ball on their own 36. McLeod Bethel Thompson came into the game with about 9 minutes remaining. And it was a quick 2 and out. And then the drive that we talked about from Winnipeg, right? They get the ball back, chance to kind of seal it away. And here we are now, 6 minutes later. It's almost a done deal.
Well, they need both, the field goal and the majors, so clock management, get a big chunk play here.
Gonna have to move quick. MBT from the pocket, incomplete. In the direction of Gavin Cobb. And it'll be 2nd and 10. The most impactful part of the Edmonton offense tonight was their running back, Justin Rankin. 156 yards. Passing situations here with that time a problem. They'll try to run a draw, and that goes horribly wrong as Tony Jones is just right there to wrap him up.
Tony Jones has had a night too. He's created some turnovers. He got to one. I mean, this is a guy that is in the game substituting in the middle of that defense for Adam Bighill, and that is a major void to fill. Big shoes to fill there. And he fights off a block and makes a nice tackle. He's got that interception off the tip early on. Big game in his first start in the middle.
3rd and 9. He'll get it away. Thrown short of the first down marker, and that'll be a turnover on downs. 2 fumbles, 2 turnovers on downs, and 2 interceptions for Edmonton for a total of 6 turnovers. They had only 17 all season coming into this game tonight.
Well, Jarius Jackson said it at halftime to Ryan on the sideline. We keep doing that, we're not going to win this game. And he was right.
An offense that had been lights out over this 5-1 stretch, averaging 35 points per game, gets completely shut down by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers defense. The best we've seen in the league so far this year, allowing just 21.1 points per game. Collaros gets it back again, gives it to Brady Oliveira, and Brady tracked down on the near sideline.
Brady Oliveira with the football.
So we talked about it before, the turn at the 3rd quarter break, that there are teams that know how to win, know how to finish strong in the 4th quarter, and there are teams that are learning how to do that as we get into this stretch, as we're in this stretch drive to the playoff run. Now that's a tight West Division, but a little bit of separation for the Bombers in that 1st place spot.
Winnipeg will, of course, go home to face Edmonton again on Friday. Then they're in Hamilton, home against the Argos, and then wrap up the year on the road in Montreal. On the other side, Edmonton in Winnipeg on Friday. A huge game against Saskatchewan. Pretty much will have to have that one after the loss tonight here. Then they're down in Calgary. and then home against the Argos to wrap up the season.
Clock did not run. It's supposed to be at 1:41, please. 1:41, and it will start on my whistle.
So with the game well in hand, Coach O'Shea says, wait a minute, there's something wrong with the clock. Hey. He's on top of it over there.
You don't win now 104 career games by not paying attention.
Attention to detail.
I was hoping he'd go backwards hat guy tonight, but he did not.
He talked to us about that, didn't
he said he got a lot of barbs about the old backwards hat at the Banjo Bowl. 2nd and 5. Oliveira broke a tackle. Won't pick up the first down. He stopped short. Pushing and shoving back by Kolaris. Officials will step in and separate them.
Timeout, Edmonton. Timeout, Edmonton.
Timeout for Jarius Jackson.
The Bombers will improve to 10-0 coming off of buys. Real good coaching staff that, you know, put together a game plan both offensively and defensively. Their defense created 4 turnovers in the first half, and then Buck Pierce made some adjustments in the second, and that adjustment wears number 20.
It'll be 11 wins in a row for Winnipeg against Edmonton. Trey Ford goes 10 of 17, 131, a touchdown, 2 interceptions, a fumble, and ends the evening on the bench as MBT has come in and only thrown the ball 3 times for 8 yards.
Yeah, it didn't look real good. Interesting to see what Jarius Jackson does going into next week in the rematch.
Well, that'll be a conversation.
Well, yeah, but I don't think it would change really when you consider that, yeah, it wasn't a great night for Trey Ford, but McLeod Bethel-Thompson had a couple series, and
Kolaris seems one down the field. There's a flag for pass interference at the 5. It was 3rd down. They left him out there. Kai Gray working against
pass
Kenny
interference,
Lawler.
Edmonton number 5. Spotted the foul and automatic first down.
See, the reason that Mike O'Shea was worried about the time and wanted to get that right is that these 2 teams only play each other twice. And even though you see the jersey grab there, that's the penalty. So points for and against in that series, even though they're at different ends of the West Division.
So a couple of issues for Edmonton tonight. 2 things that had been going really well for them. They've been scoring a bunch of points and they've been looking after the football. Tonight, the turnovers stopped them from getting the points. Brady Oliveira looking to get to the end zone, and he's in. 2 touchdowns for Oliveira, and he's got that awkward dance going on again.
Well, it's some sort of chicken box or something they've been talking about. I don't know. Maybe it's their, I don't know, they had a pre-game meal or something. I'm not sure what it is, but a couple of touchdowns for Oliveira, and points matter when you play a team twice in your same division. So trying to win season series against everybody.
Brady Oliveira activated again here by the Bombers. He's got his 5th 100-yard rushing game. His high game was actually 129. He almost matched that here tonight. He's at 127 and a couple of touchdowns. So one of the better games of the year for Brady Oliveira. Really the difference in the second half of this football game. The Bombers run the ball and they take the ball away from Edmonton.
Great to see the big man back in the lineup too, right beside Brady there, Stanley Bryant. And I don't think for a second he's going to try and do that dance with him.
You don't think so?
No, I doubt that.
Well, you add back in one of the best to ever do it. at left tackle, and that'll go a long way for Collaros down the stretch. And I'm sure Princess Auto Stadium in Winnipeg will be rocking on Friday nights. Heading into the fourth quarter, this game was tied at 10. And as we started the fourth quarter, what did we say? A team that knows how to close these ones out versus a team that has not yet figured how to close these ones out. And it stayed true to the script in the fourth quarter.
A great example of that was that 2nd and 5 with about 4.5 minutes to go. That was the play the Bombers had to have to seal the deal, and they made it happen.
Dylan Mitchell on the return. Back out just beyond the 30.
But a team that, you know, is learning how to win in Edmonton, learning how to finish these games. They're getting closer all the time. They've got two good quarterbacks with very different styles, and their run game is dynamite. It was great tonight. I mean, Justin Rankin had a monster game running the football, especially when Trey Ford is in there. The run game opens up between the tackles in a big way. We showed you a couple examples of that tonight. 157 yards for him. And I also add that the 4 turnovers created by the Bomber defense in the first half, the Elks defense responded after those turnovers.
They did very well.
They didn't give up majors. It was 3-0 Winnipeg at halftime. So, you know, their defense is strengthening as the game or the season has gone on.
Bob Bethel-Thompson from the pocket, looking for Tevin Jones, defended there by Kelly. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. So you think they go back to Ford on Friday?
Well, you know, I think you do. I mean, it certainly helps your run game. There's no question about that. And, you know, the interception that he threw wasn't his fault. Bounced right off Rankin's shoulder pads. And now, with 9 minutes to go, McLeod Bethel-Thompson came in and put together 2 big drives. It's more of a discussion.
A different conversation.
Yeah.
I think if he would have come in and put together a couple big drives, they would be going to him for sure. But it's a question that you know, it'll be very interesting to see if Jerry's Jackson answers it tonight. Yeah. After the last game, he said, well, Trey Ford started in 2 weeks.
He might.
What will he say tonight?
You know, he's a former quarterback. Yeah. So he knows more than anybody that you want to know. You know, don't mess around with the decision. Just make it so that the guy that's going to start the game gets the first team reps from the very beginning of the week of practice.
2nd and 7. Near side, first down as he gets it into the hands of Curly Gittens Jr., his 3rd catch of the ball game.
And this drive right now won't be part of the consideration.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't be.
No, no. I mean, look at the Bombers secondary. 30 yards off the ball. So bragging rights for Tyrell, even though he had a couple that brother Trey can say, well, what about our flea flicker play? They
got him on that one.
You got him on that one, but you know, Tyrell will say, yeah, you can say whatever play you want. Just look at the scoreboard. Who got the W? That's all that matters.
Take the win, and the best part is, this is why you got to love a home and home. You get to see him go at it again on Friday. On the run to his right, MBT down the field, and that one falls into no man's land with 10 seconds on the clock. They're going to roll out Boris Beatty. for a late field goal attempt.
How do you want that?
Beatty hit one earlier.
So after this, the Elks will have 4 games left, the regular season. How many games again are they behind?
Oh, they'll be 3 points back of the Riders.
Both coaches are thinking about points for and against in the 2-game series.
Beatty puts that one up and through. I don't think we're going to have to worry about a Winnipeg-Edmonton tiebreaker.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. They're two different ends of the division. So this is just good habits.
Blue Bombers fans in attendance will leave this one happy.
Field goal is good after the play. 2 misconduct fouls. 1 against 15 yards against Edmonton 84 and against Winnipeg number 6. Those fouls offset. We move to the kickoff.
Retta Cramdy, Tevin Jones. Tevin Jones, one of his quieter games since becoming a member of the Elks. Just 3 catches for 24 yards. Gino Lewis just 2 catches in this game tonight. One of them a 31-yard touchdown. O'Shea still looks a little hot there, doesn't he? Trey Ford getting the start tonight and unable to take advantage of it.
Real good game plan defensively for the Bombers against Ford when they went with 3 down linemen.
Kept them wide.
Linebackers like adding in Michael Griffin, taking out sort of run-stopping linebackers and adding Michael Griffin to keep him all contained and don't let him escape. He only had really 1 major scramble that we...
Well, I just don't think... I don't know why you don't run Trey Ford a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right? Like designed quarterback runs. Didn't do it tonight. Really.
Well, I think Jerry's Jackson's answer to that would be on those RPO-type plays where he's riding the ball with the running back.
He can't go if he wants.
He can take it. He can pull it. If he sees the end crash down on the back, he can pull the ball. So, if they call that 10 times, he has the option to do that.
Didn't do it tonight. Beatty hammer this down the field, and that'll trickle.
Well, it's live.
End zone.
It's live, but he has to keep it in play. The Bombers had everybody on the line of scrimmage. They didn't have a deep guy, so he kicked it deep, hoping that their cover team could outrun people. But anyway,
Blue Bombers 6 in a row now. Edmonton again. Hamilton trying to hang around as well. And the team that has owned the West for almost half a decade seems to be rolling in the right direction right now.
Yeah, you got a 6-game win streak going in Winnipeg, and as you mentioned, they are Edmonton, Hamilton, Toronto, Montreal. So they're after their next game, they're dealing with the East. While the rest of the West battles it out against each other.
Oh, they don't lose after a bye week. They don't lose against Edmonton. Mike Riley was the last quarterback to beat them in an Edmonton jersey. Was not meant to be for Trey Ford tonight. His brother Tyrell, the bragging rights this evening. Winnipeg takes over in the 4th quarter. That's really what this game came down to.
Yeah, it really did. It was an interesting game with coaching changes, coaching strategies coming out at halftime, making some adjustments. But for the Bombers, they really leaned heavy on their tailback, Brady Oliveira.
6 in a row for Winnipeg. And maybe a bit of a reality check for an Edmonton team that had been playing very well as of late.